Hello, everyone. Very happy to have another young Indian with us, Voice of the Young series. Good to be back. Right now, we have with us Mayoukh Dutta. Let's listen to him. Over to you.
Good morning, Professor Mathur and all the viewers. I am Mayoukh Dutta. I am currently pursuing my undergrad in economics. I am currently in my second year and I am currently in Chennai. I am studying in Madras School of Economics. I am from Calcutta originally, and right now it's a new city. I've been here for the last 2 years. So that's how it's going so far. And my interests vary. Like I like to write, I like to read, I like to listen to music, and I also love watching films. So pretty much like any other, kid my age. So that and so today I was thinking of talking about my journey, how I tiptoed into economics, because I actually come from a science background. I did not have economics in my 10 plus 2, and like traditionally, or like I observe in general that people who take up economics these days usually have commerce or humanities and have the subjects like economics or and of course mathematics as a whole in the 10 plus 2. I did have maths, but I did not have eco. So uh, basically my schooling was from a very competitive school of sorts. It was very easy to get lost in the crowd. I think a lot of people might relate to it. The burden of being average, right? You like in a classroom, the teacher always remembers the overachievers, the top scorers, and absolutely the troublemakers, the ones who sit at the back. But it's hard to differentiate when you are just lost in the crowd and you're just average. And that's how my story was till I reached my 10th grade. And then uh, surprisingly, I was not really pressured or like influenced to take up science per se directly. It was just the surrounding. Like our school had a special entrance test of sorts for the 11th admissions, and it was sort of prestigious and all that. So I just thought of giving it a chance, and I got it. And funnily, like I often say it, like I took up science because we used to have 5 subjects instead of 6 subjects in the other streams. And I have always been studying in my school in the afternoon session instead of morning. And so uh, I always say that I took up science so that I could study in school in the afternoon and sleep in the morning. But eventually, it led to sleepless nights. So yeah, that was my story. And then lockdown hit, COVID hit us all hard, and I just lost my way in school. And I was never really too good with physics and chemistry per se. I was pretty okay with numbers and decent with words. So I started looking up for topics like subjects which might be of my interest, and that's how I came across economics, which again posed to be a different challenge altogether after I graduated my school, because most like the top schools like Delhi University and all those affiliated colleges, they were taking up admission through CUET, and it was pretty hard for me to compete with fellows who were having different subjects. Suppose like the system was such that you had to have no you had to sit for papers which you had 10 plus 2. So you can understand the gap. Someone who might have had fine arts, they can submit those scores, and I was there writing my physics, chemistry and math. So it was a very huge gap in that way. But like again, I would also like to talk about the importance of chance. Like I mean, our college, it has been there for like 3 decades now almost, Madras School of Economics. And they came up with their pilot batch for BA economics only in 2022. That was after they were granted their they passed a special law, and it was established as an institute of special importance, and they were granted the power to grant degrees. So that is when they came up with the EA program, and it was just in time for my graduation of high school. So my dad told me one fine morning, yeah, again chance it I didn't get to know about the course anywhere. It was in the newspaper, and I don't read newspapers as such, and it was only there in Times of India. So my dad happened to be going through it, and he told me that hey, I have some news. MSc is having this exam, and they have their bachelor's program. So I gave the exam and eventually got in, and here I am. And initially there was some apprehensions ki I am from Calcutta and I have to cross, like come from the east to all the way south. The language barrier, that the weather change, like it's so hot out here. But it has been all right. Like taking the leap of faith. I did not know much about economics, and I am enjoying. At least I am trying to enjoy and fall for economics, as I like to say on my LinkedIn profile. So that's how it's going, and I think that's what one should do. They should just try to look up things out there and try to find a purpose of sorts. Like you can't really say ki, this is my purpose, because your purpose keeps changing over time. It evolves. That's what I feel. Your vision change. Like if you asked me if you told me like 6 years ago that you will be taking economics, I would be flabbergasted. How come? What is economics first of all, and why would I be doing that? But yeah, you never know where life takes you over time, and it's a journey to be savored. So that's all I had to say. So you're muted.
Okay, so what was your default? What would have
Uh,
happened in the normal course of event?
I think in the normal course of event, I would have gone through the traditional schooling, like in person, and I think I would have been absolutely influenced by the peer pressure, because uh, in general, and I can say with experience that in the East, particularly in Kolkata and such regions, the pressure is huge, the expectations are high, because like when our parents also see ki this guy is pursuing engineering and so on and so forth, they also tend to push you towards engineering. So I think my regular course would have been, had I not taken up economics, I would have been probably studying engineering somewhere,
Okay, all right.
because I knew my limitations. I know I wouldn't probably get into the dream colleges of sorts. Had it like, again, people who get in there actually have their vision set there. It's not like you manifest it one day ki I want to get into IIT or NIT and they get there. I think it's a long process and it takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
yeah.
you are now happy with what you have.
Uh, Again, I would like to talk a bit about economics and what I understand.
Yeah,
You
sure.
are a veteran in this field. You obviously have, uh, a better perspective overall, and you would probably like to hear what a layman has to say about economics. So,
Sure.
in my perspective, I feel that economics can be rightly termed as social engineering, or uh, as I often say, humanities ka engineering.
Okay.
So it can, so there is a famous saying that engineers end up doing everything other than engineering. I think economics are somewhat like that too. Once you take up economics, you can go into public policy, you can end up doing an MBA, you can get into finance. Typically, any field, any other, like engineering has to offer other than the core research. Again, had anyone been interested in the core research part of physics or engineering or whatever, the hard sciences, they would have taken up hard sciences as a whole, not social sciences. So I think economics has a lot to offer in general, because I think it is the most grounded subject. You can actually relate. Once I study, again, it has its own ways. There is a lot of debate revolving it. But again, that is the case with all the fields, all the disciplines in general. Like you take two extremes, and the reality is somewhere in the middle, because the real world is in ceteris paribus after all. So I think that's what.
Okay, how's the faculty here?
The faculty is solid. Like I can personally vouch for the courses and whatever is being taught here. The macro courses are personally being taken up by our dean, Dr. Naveen, and other courses. Also, we have incorporated new age courses like data science and Python, introduction to Python, MS Excel, so that students are industry ready as well. So we are trying our best. We all, since it's a new course, we are trying to set up internship opportunities, placement opportunities, and other things. But again, those who know, they know it's a very small campus. MSc hosts like 400 to 500 people overall,
Okay.
which is like a classroom in some colleges, right? So
Uh-huh.
the entire college, everyone included, it would probably be just around 600 at max. So it's a
Very small.
very cozy campus, small campus. Everyone knows each other. It's nice. It's good. So
Cozy.
that's
Any
what is
girls
going
there?
on here.
Any girls?
Yes, sir.
Any girls there? Or is just all male?
No, 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 no. The gender ratio is also very solid. I think a lot of schools and like a lot of institutions emphasize on the gender diversity and the sex ratio, but you will be surprised to know there are more females than males in our college, almost, as per my personal observation. Again, it might vary from batch to batch, but it's almost 1:1, if not like better, higher in case of females.
Is that in
So,
economics or the college?
so, we only offer one discipline, which is economics.
I see.
Other
Okay.
than right, Madras School of Economics only has a BA honors in economics, 5 specializations in the master's course, and also they have started a PGDM course, which is like equivalent to an MBA, which is accredited by AICT, the standard protocol. So that is the case throughout. This gender ratio thing is throughout. I think I don't know if they take any conscious steps towards it, but that has been the case as per my personal observations.
And are the people mainly from Chennai or Tamil Nadu, or they are from all over India?
I think that is a very valid question that you have put up. So again, it varies from batch to batch. I can speak for my batch. So my batch, it's a bit varied, but the majority is from Tamil Nadu or Chennai because there are special reservations for people who are from Tamil Nadu. First of all, 35% of the seats are reserved for people from Tamil Nadu. And even after that, so we are a batch of 51 people, almost 30ish, 30 or 31 are from Tamil Nadu itself. Then there are people, like 3 people are from West Bengal. I am one of them. Then some people are from Delhi, some people are from Kerala, so on and so forth. Some people, there's someone who's from Maharashtra, and that is the case in our batch. But our juniors, I have seen the majority is predominantly South Indian person.
Okay. So do you feel
So,
like some outsider, or do you feel like an insider?
so so again, MSc hosts a lot of students from West Bengal in their MA programs, master's programs. It's fairly popular in West Bengal. Like people who study in Calcutta University, they always want to go out and explore. So MSc ends up being their option after failing to secure in a seat in institutes like Indian Statistical Institute or DSC. So they end up there, and there's a large chunk of pretty smart people out there in the masters. So I haven't really felt like an outsider as of yet, but the people I'm friends with, the seniors, they're about to graduate in a couple of months. So I've been thinking about that. Let's see how it goes.
But by now you must have enough friends in your own group.
Uh, yeah, so me and 3 of my friends have moved out from the hostel, so we have rented out this apartment. So I'm trying to establish bonds in my current batch as well. It's
Okay.
so I've been trying to interact, but again, nothing feels the same as talking to like people from your region in your mother tongue, right?
So who cooks
So
the
yeah.
food? Who cooks the food?
Oh, that's a very good question. So cooking the food is a hassle. We order out. We order in mostly, but over the weekends, sometimes it's me who cooks or my roommates. Everyone tries to cook and like have a good time over the weekends, not on weekdays. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very tough. You have to study.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue.
Sir, I initially when we started talking, I said something about chance and all of these things. So I've been very like engrossed in this concept, like being an opportunist and chance, like things happen which are not in our control, and I think we should embrace it with our uh, arms open. I have noticed in my juniors and all, they're very concerned. One good thing I've noticed is that people tend to research more about opportunities and things in general, but again, we aren't risk takers by nature. I think there is a lack of putting our skin in the game, as the saying goes. I think we should believe in ourselves. There should be a purpose. Like as I told, the purpose and vision might change over time, but at least there should be something we fundamentally believe in wholeheartedly, and
Yeah.
I think that is the force that carries us forward. Be it in, like, I might not ending up pursuing economics in the long run, and it does not really matter. What matters is what I believe in and what I stand for. I think those are things that cannot be snatched away from you, right? Like our belongings, possessions, houses, degrees, everything goes
Mm.
away, everything fades away once we are gone. But the values we stood for, the people we stood for, the things we did for other people, I think that stands. And a lot of it is also carried out by chance. Like I wouldn't have been here in MSc had they chose to like start up this course a year later. I would have
True.
been studying someplace else. So I think is life is very binary. You make a choice, you bear the consequence. And I think that is something which keeps me up at night sometimes. So yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
I've been thinking about these things.
Yeah. Well, can I just add my thought to this that I think there are
Sure,
only
sure.
three things in a college. One,
Mhm.
you grow up with new friends. Okay. Number two, you learn to learn on your own. And number three, you learn to think by yourself. Because in Indian schools, thinking is not allowed. You cannot do any thinking. You have to write the same old answer to the same old question. Right? So this is a big change. So there are only three things. One, you grow up and you make new friends outside your home zone, comfort zone. And you've done that. You have moved into a place with three other people. So that's something that's worth. And learn to learn on your own. Because today's world is changing all the time. 1 year ago, there was no chat GPT. Today, there's nothing but chat GPT. Okay.
That is so true.
So, you have to learn it, but you cannot take courses. You have to
Mhm.
learn on your own. Okay. So that's what college is about, how to learn on your own and learn to think. Learn to think because that's not allowed in school. So here, growing up
That
includes
is
everything else is like, okay, it doesn't matter. This is it that matters. I think looking back over so many years, that this is what really matters. But anyway, I want to hear your views on my thoughts.
absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with whatever you said, and I would like to add something more. So I
Yeah,
think since you emphasized on the point that Indian schools do not really encourage us to think, I think that is true, and I think that is partly due to the fact how the society is structured. I think we are more eager to be spoon fed and like structured and everything uh, than like be on our own. I think is insecurity on some parts ki like there is a reluctance to trade your own part. People like to follow people. Again, drawing parallels from whatever I said earlier, I think there should be a strong sense of purpose and something you believe in. If you don't believe in anything and you just follow blindly, it might get you somewhere. It's not like people have not done good things while following someone, but that is dependence. If they choose to turn back, then you are basically stuck. You end up following the shadows, and when they turned, they were doing something on their own, but you followed them. Now you don't know what to do. So I think treading your own path is, and like thinking is certainly something that is not encouraged in Indian schools. And I think partly this, I think all the blame cannot be on the system by itself, because like an entire overall in the system will take a very long time, right? I think it starts at the micro level, individually. Once individuals start thinking, the system has to change. It's bound to change, right? I think it's
Okay.
very easy to point fingers. I have noticed, like, again, I was talking about engineering initially. So so many people give the JEE exams and only a handful get in, and the ones who don't get in are disappointed and sad, of course, which is natural. They prepared something so for something so hard for so long, and they did not get what they thought they deserved. But they end up blaming the system. There's not enough seats, reservations, whatever. Let's not get into that debate altogether. But why not make yourself resilient to all these external factors?
Hmm.
Like, a college can't really hinder your learning. Even if you fail, like even if you don't get into your college, that's fine. There are so many resources out there. All these top schools have their things laid out for you for free. If someone wants to learn in this age of time, this is the best time, because everything is free, everything is out there. You just have to seek, look for it, seek it. I think this is the best time to be alive.
It's a very
For
passionate
sure.
speech. I I think what you should
I
say
am.
is, I think what you should say is this is the best time to learn, not to be alive.
Ha,
This is the best time to learn.
fair enough.
Because I think the best time to learn was in my youth because we didn't have to learn. There was no learning.
Everything you started building on is new to
Yeah,
you.
that there was nothing.
Haha,
There was nothing. You know. What?
fair
So
enough.
you were just wasting your life. Okay. Because you could waste it. There was nothing to do. So, but
No, I would like to. It's not wasting. If you like, it again depends on a perspective. Like, of course, like it has been so long since you studied, you graduated from grad school and all, and you have been doing all of this. So of course it has some purpose, it has some vision. Like
yeah,
going back to my speech of sorts. So of course we are all driven by something. So I
yeah.
think any time invested is not wasted. Like, again, when I was small, I was reprimanded when I used to play video games or watch movies or listen to songs, whatever. But as I grew up, I realized those are not necessarily evil. We think of it to be evil, but like it makes you think so many things, right? So all these video games, they are just puzzles, gamified puzzles. Any video game you pick up, there's some sequence to it. So I think there's a certain way to it. So like, if someone can figure it out, they're clearly thinking in a different way, right?
My
But
son
like,
convinced
again, time.
my son
Hmm.
convinced me that it teaches you to think strategically.
I
Strategy.
I I I think I agree. I think I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
And that and music, I mean, the most primal form of communication, I feel. Music transcends barriers, boundaries, and everything. Again, movies, art is visual, audio visual. You relate to the character, you relate to the story. There's so many good movies out there, so much to learn. I think right now the main problem, the main difference between earlier times and now is that earlier there was not much resource to reach out to,
Right.
right? And
Right.
now there's so much resource, you need
Yeah.
to weed out what to
Yeah.
absorb.
Yeah.
There's an overwhelming amount of resource out there.
True. True. Okay. Anything
I
else you want to add?
To this, I would like to add that since there's so much out there, people are facing the fear of missing out. And the new thing I have observed is that people are holding certificates after certificates. Since you are LinkedIn, we connected over LinkedIn. You must have noticed there are so many people out there who are doing one certification after the other, and after the other, and after, like, one after the other. I don't think it contributes to a productivity or your learning per se, because what you are doing is just cramming a lot of things in a short span of time. It needs to be spaced out. And I was watching this video recently. So it said that the mind needs to process what you learned by actually demonstrating it. So the example was very interesting. So suppose you learned how to jumpstart a car. You learned that you plug this wire on one car and this wire on the other end of the battery in the other car, right? Now, the best way to remember it is to actually do it.
Yeah.
Now, we might not have two cars lying around, right? So, what what one should do in that space is that they should think about doing it on your head, in your head, that here's my car, I am plugging it. So, visualizing what we are learning, and instead of cramming it and like just spewing out certificates, it won't help you in any way.
Okay.
That's a new phenomenon I have observed recently.
Wonderful. Okay.
Quality over quantity, of course.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Not particularly, sir. I think
Well,
I
you
am
have spoken
done.
very eloquently. You have expressed your opinion, and that's very good
Thank you so much.
to have you here to talk to so cleanly and clearly. You know your mind. That's very good. Okay, so let's end it here today, and I'll
Sure,
be
sir.
back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye, everybody.